Decision paralysis. That's something we all have now. There's an unlimited amount of shows on streaming services, so sometimes we just don't know what to watch. If that's you, I got you. 2024 has had some amazing shows happen so far, so I'm going to be giving you my top 10 favorite shows that I watched. This list has a bunch of variety to it, so I'm sure you're going to find at least one show that you'll enjoy. So get ready to find the next show that you're about to binge. What's up? My name is Bobby Foster, and as you're watching this video, if you like this list, go ahead and leave this video a like. And subscribe too if you want more reviews, recommendations, and insights. So let's get to this list. Up first, we're going with a reality television show. We're going with Selling the OC. If you like real estate and you like reality TV, this is the show for you. I'm sure you've heard of Selling Sunset. It's always a gigantic show on Netflix. This is like a spin-off of that, but honestly, this most recent season is even better than Selling Sunset, honestly. The characters are just way more interesting to me, and also Selling Sunset feels way overproduced now, and this doesn't feel that way, so check out Selling the OC if you haven't yet. But coming in at number 9, we have For All Mankind. This show is on Apple TV, and it's amazing. It's a really interesting sci-fi show. So the premise is that there's an alternate timeline where the space race never ended, and Russia was actually who got to the moon first. And the show takes place over a long period of time because in between each season, 10 years pass. So it's a really interesting setup. You get a lot of cast turnover, but they're really good at getting you to care about all the characters and all the new characters as well. Also, as the seasons carry on, it's becoming more and more sci-fi-ish, so definitely check it out. It's really interesting. I've never really seen a sci-fi show like this before. Coming in at number 8, since we're talking about sci-fi, let's go with Three Body Problem. I could not stop watching this show. Me and my wife binged this in like a couple days. This show was unbelievable. The plot's really intriguing. The idea is it's about a scientist who makes contact with someone and it makes a decision that affects all of humanity. And there's also a mystery that underlies the whole show where you're trying to figure out what's going on behind all these weird happenings that are breaking the laws of the universe. And I'm happy to say that it did get renewed for season 2. I was worried about that because the budget is high, but season 2 is coming. At number 7, we're going back to Apple TV with Monarch Legacy of Monsters. If you like Godzilla, you need to watch this show. What's really cool about this show compared to the Godzilla movies is this is more of a street level story focused on the human aspect of having these monsters like Godzilla destroying the world and like where that leaves humans, right? So it's about the trauma that like comes from the monsters, and there's a conspiracy plot involved that keeps you wanting to watch until you have it all figured out. If you love Godzilla for real, check this out. Up next at number 6, we have Under the Bridge. This show's actually still airing as I'm recording this. I believe the final episode is next week. This show will haunt you. The premise is that there's a 14-year-old girl in this show, and she goes missing after getting jumped under a bridge, and the show unfolds about trying to find her. Lily Gladstone stars in this show, and she is a standout. Now, unfortunately, this show is based on a true story, which makes it even more horrifying, but the acting performances on the show are just top-notch, and all the different things this show touches, like racism, xenophobia, abandonment, classism, the power of the media, and more. There's just a lot to be explored here, and I just can't recommend this show enough. We're halfway through this list. If I put you on a show that you hadn't heard of yet, go ahead and leave a like on this video. At number 5, we have Them Season 2. So I binged season 1 and season 2. Now this show is an anthology series, so you don't have to watch season 1 to understand season 2, but I will say absolutely check out season 1 though. So me and my wife binged season 1 and season 2 back to back, and this is like a black version of American Horror Story. It's like Jordan Peele's movies in TV forms. It's about the horror around real terrifying things that happen to black people, things we've gone through and continue to go through. Season 2 has a plot of generational trauma, police brutality, child abandonment. It's terrifying to watch, honestly, and it's a thriller, but it's extremely interesting. The stories are good. It's a great watch, but warning, season 1 is a lot to sit through. Season 2 isn't as much. I don't want to spoil anything. Just be ready if you watch season 1 that it's a lot to sit through. At number 4, we have X-Men 97. I'm sure you've all heard so many good things about X-Men 97. I'm just going to give my perspective on why I liked it so much. So my viewing experience of this was awesome. I was waiting for this show to drop every single week. A lot of people were saying, it's like the best thing X-Men has ever done. And I mean, I understand that. Like, every episode is so fast paced. You get to really dive into all the different X-Men instead of it focusing just like on the main ones like the movies do. And although it's a cartoon, there's deep themes in this show. It's very symbolic and it has some deep meanings in there. The animation is great. The themes are great. The characters are great. I definitely feel like it's a hit. And I can't wait for the next season because, like, the way the season ended, I need that next season expeditiously. Number 3, we're going to Baby Reindeer on Netflix. What was this show? This show was a lot. It's about a guy that's getting stalked by this lady who had walked into his bar and he was just nice to her, but what unfolds after that is just extreme. This show delves into a lot of deep topics, and I don't want to say the main one because it'll be like a gigantic spoiler, but it just dives into the trauma of both of the main characters, and it's an extremely heartbreaking show. If you don't like deep and dark shows, then this one may not be for you, but if you can stomach stuff like that or you enjoy it, like, definitely check this out. This is definitely one of the most unique shows I've seen this year, and the payoff is great. Like, every episode is good and it ends well too. Now, getting to number 2, I was sad I put this at number 2 because I wanted to put it at number 1, but something beat it out. But anyway, number 2 is Shogun. This show was utter perfection, which is why I wanted to put it at number 1. Instead of focusing on a lot of action like how samurai shows and things like that usually do, this was much more focused on dialogue, which is what created all the tension in the show. People liken this show to Game of Thrones, which I totally get because there's a lot of politics involved and power plays and things like that. But what was really cool about this show was that it's more from the creation aspect, the foundation of it. They have a mainly Japanese cast, so that brought a lot of authenticity to the show because they put in a lot of care to make sure there's a lot of historical cultural accuracy in the show when it comes to Japan. So it's truly a one-of-a-kind show. Like, they did an amazing job with that. And honestly, the main character, Toranaga, like, he's such a cool character. He's a tactician. He's always 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And, like, just all the characters are so good, but just watching the plot unfold there's so many plot twists. You never know what people are actually thinking. Like, you definitely got to watch this. You'll be entertained from the first episode to the last episode. And my number 1 show of the year so far is Fallout. This show is amazing. I don't know if I'm biased because I've been playing the video game since Fallout 3. However, it is one of the best video game adaptation TV shows I've ever seen. It's up there with The Last of Us. And even if you haven't played the games, I know it's an amazing show because my wife hasn't played the games and she absolutely loves it. So Fallout's about a post-apocalyptic world after a nuclear bomb goes off. Well, multiple nuclear bombs. In the video games, the biggest selling point is being able to it's an open world game and you can walk around the wasteland and do side quests and run into a bunch of characters. And this is like, they just nail it in the show. The main character, Lucy, gets set out on this journey to find her father, and she travels through the wasteland and she's finding obstacle after obstacle and just running into a bunch of characters. And her character's just amazing. The ghoul is an amazing character. So many great characters in here. And the story really keeps you on your toes because, once again, there's a conspiracy plot in this show and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and the reveal is crazy. We watched this like in one day. We were addicted to it. Definitely check this one out. If there's any show from this list y'all check out, please check out Fallout if you haven't watched it yet. It's on Prime. Please watch this show. So there you go. 10 shows that have come out in 2024 that I loved, and I'm hoping you love too. If any of the shows on this list intrigued you, leave a like on this video. Then also in the comments, let me know some other shows that aren't on this list that y'all would recommend for me to watch and everybody else. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more lists like this. I hope y'all have a good time with these shows, and until next time, I'll see y'all.